Yes, this is Savon. I'm here with a court in the hip hop, and we have a special interview for you guys today. I want to let you guys know I'm sitting down with a guy that's doing the work, man. The guy that's representing for what I come from, HBCU, and what he's doing with HBCUs is something special. He is the founder of the All-Star HBCU game, and let's get into it. I'm excited to have this conversation with you because I know where I come from, and it's good to see that you're putting on for the individuals in the HBCU space. So I want to know more about this All-Star game and how it came about, if you don't mind speaking about that, Travis.
Hey, first of foremost, thank you for taking out your time and your schedule and allowing us to be on this platform. And so, as you asked one of the most important questions, how did this vision come about? This is truly a God-driven vision. After 17 successful years of coaching in October 2019, God placed this vision in my spirit. So, HBCU All-Stars is a Black-owned sports marketing events and media company located in Atlanta, Georgia. And our vision, our mission, we call it ear and or. Exposure, access, recognition, opportunities, and resources results for our proud and prestigious and tradition-rich HBCUs, hardworking, talent, and very deserving and ambitious student athletes. And then some of our most brilliant coaches across the country and global around the world that don't get the notoriety, that don't get the shine. And so we're looking to change that trajectory that's been happening. And show the world that HBCUs matter.
Yes, definitely. And I love the sound of that because when it comes down to HBCU sports, we've seen throughout the years, there's more visibility to it, more so on the football side, but we still got to get around to that on the basketball side. And I know that's a passion for you being a coach, a former coach of HBCUs. And we want to stress the importance of how the impact of this could be for these players and these student athletes. What will this look like for them and the impact that and opportunities that they could possibly get from being showcased in such a game?
And one of the key points you mentioned, the exposure and the access. Think about it. We hosted the first ever HBCU All-Star Game in April 2022 in New Orleans. First time ever during the 40 plus year history of the NCAA March Madness tournament. And there couldn't be a better audience atmosphere there in New Orleans. You had Duke, Villanova, North Carolina, Kansas, all the blue bloods of basketball, college basketball. And then you had our top 24 nations HBCU All-Stars in that city representing. And we're not second class to any of those participating teams there. April 2023, Houston, the great city of Houston shut down for us. The first ever sellout, first ever HBCU All-Star game on a HBCU campus at Texas Southern University. 8,000 plus watching it on a HBCU campus. April 2024 in Phoenix, where you and I know that no HBCUs exist in that part of the country. And to have standing room only at Grand Canyon University Global Credit Union Arena that seats only 6,500 and have the overflow of 7,200 standing room only, and then the overflow outside watching it, and then our fan fest. That's truly God driven. And then in approximately 12 days, we're getting ready to host the fourth annual Men HBCU All-Star Game. But check this out. I'm truly humble and grateful to say that the first ever women HBCU All-Star game ever. And now we're able to bring greater equality, great exposure to our women in sports. It's inclusive of everyone in this space. So you ask why this is important? There are currently 450 NBA players, 30 NBA teams, 144 WNBA players, 12 WNBA teams. We have zero representation, as you mentioned to earlier. The other sports sometimes get it, but our basketball is lacking at because we're not provided the same opportunity, the same platform. They're not going to our HBCU campuses. But when God placed a vision in my spirit to change that trajectory, and that's what we're doing in this space through our sports marketing events and media company, truly showing the world that HBCUs matter, truly showing that we have some of the most talented, tough, hard-nosed players, skilled players that can play with anybody, but just looking for these opportunities. So that's what our platform has been allowed us to do. And more importantly, during college basketball biggest weekend, where you and I know all eyes will be on Final Four weekend in San Antonio.
Yes, definitely. And I know in the past you guys have broadcast with CBS. Who are you guys partnered with in broadcasting with this year?
I want to make sure I give a special shout out to CBS because they allowed us to lay the foundation, establish the blueprint, and we had 3 historic years to do something that's never been done in the game of basketball and a celebration of us HBCUs. I just want to truly give that public acknowledgement because they have been great. So now we're partnered with the CW Network, CW Sports in this space. And so they're going to broadcast our men's game. But also a few days ago, we just partnered with NBC University, Peacock, as well as NBC Sports Fast Channels to broadcast this live stream both men and women HBCU All-Star games. So I'm telling you, this is national and global exposure that is important for our culture. And then on top of that, we got the nation's top 24 men and women that we just announced on Monday, March the 17th. It is a celebration. But in this space, you think about it, we represent all HBCUs in this space. It's beautiful that the game of sports can bring everybody together. And we want it inclusive of everybody. We need everybody's support. Why is that important? Because if you don't know about HBCUs, we're going to educate you on our rich history, our legacy, and show you how resilient we are. But very, very impactful moment for us in time.
Yes, most definitely. And I know it's important. I come from an HBCU. I know how the games were, and I really know what the environment was like, but we don't see that representation in the pros on the basketball side. And we want to stress enough how important it is for these players to get the looks, and also why there needs to be a spotlight on HBCU student athletes in this space. Because as you hit on, we have zero representation of that on either side, on the women's side or the men's side. And I believe the last one on the women's side, she was able to get a spot on the team, and then it was like a photo op chance, and she never really got the time to showcase her talent. So, you know, we have to have these type of things happen and put them in a global spotlight for them to have these opportunities and the representation coming from these schools. With it occurring in San Antonio, and we know how it goes with the Final Four and those eyes being there and everything. How can the people get to this game? How can they buy tickets? How can they support in any way?
That's an important question because it's important. We talked about how can you watch it on our live broadcast or streaming broadcast. But ideally, first priority for us is to make sure you come to San Antonio and be a part. There's nothing like watching this in person. I think that's important, being able to celebrate Black excellence at the highest level. The total HBCU All-Star Game Experience. So if you want to purchase tickets, you can go to HBCU Make sure you purchase tickets. You want to be there in attendance. The game is on Sunday, April 6th, the epic doubleheader historic matchup. We actually have a pregame fan fest set up before we even open the doors. So our men's game is 12 p.m. Central Standard Time, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, broadcast live on CW Network. And our women game will be immediately following. And so what's historic about this, we're going to have the HBCU band. Grambling State University band will be our official band, the band, cheerleading, dance team. We have our Divine Nine Greek Unity Stroll. I'm a member of KA Psi, Kappa Psi. My wife is a AKA. So we'll have our Unity Stroll with all our Divine Nine Greek sorority and fraternity organizations. We have DJ Mosky, one of the hottest DJs in the country, to really bring that heat and bring that soulful sound to us. This will be the hottest ticket in town to get to. And so if you can't make it, make sure you tune in and watch it and share it and make it a watch party of what we need to do. But we also need your support. If you want to support us and help support our scholarship funds, make sure you purchase a ticket. That ticket purchase will go to a youth or nonprofit organization in there, and those proceeds will help us be able to provide scholarships for high school students interested in attending HBCUs or current HBCU students in need of financial assistance. All us need support in some shape, form, or fashion. And we want to be able to give back to our young folks. And also help support our ancillary. There are a number of things that we do surrounding the game, Saran.
Yes, definitely. And I want to get into that. You're saying this is more than a game. This is bigger than exposure. This is also an experience for the people that want to be a part of this. I want to support. Can we talk about the events around the game or leading up to this big event for both men and women?
Yep, I think it's important. Let's share why this is our why. So I'm serving our purpose in here. Our ultimate goal is to help our HBCU All-Stars transition collegially to professionally. I just gave you the stats. We just shared the stats publicly. There's public knowledge that folks understand that we need platforms of this magnitude to help support us. So we transition from collegiate, and how it plays out, they're all graduating seniors with no eligibility. So that's how we help them transition from collegiate. We actually have an HBCU All-Stars national scouting staff that's been watching these young men throughout the 24-25 basketball season. So I want to try to paint the picture because a lot of questions ask, well, how did you select your players? We started off currently with 100 of the nation's top players on both men's side and women's side, which has never been done, representing our 48 HBCUs, the 4 premier Black college conference, FAMU, SWAC, MEAC, CIAA, SIAC, and our independent schools, Tennessee State, Hampton, North Carolina A&T, because they play in non-HBCU conferences. And so when those top 24 and HBCU All-Stars ride on Thursday, April the 2nd, the first thing we do, we take them to Freeman Coliseum where we're playing our game. We unveil the court that they're going to play on. It's a tricked out HBCU All-Star Game court that's showing that it's be the first time checking out. We have our team meetings, our waivers, things of that nature, and share the expectations with them, what's important to them and all that stuff. Our specialty shoot. And then, of course, we have our award ceremony. We think it's important and it's open to the public, our award ceremony. This is a prestigious honor for these young men and young women. And so we recognize them for that. But then at the same time, while we're in San Antonio, we have a community awards where we recognize those leaders in the San Antonio community. Not only we recognize our All-Stars, but we recognize our community leaders that have been supportive of us bringing this event to this city and have been doing great work in their city. So that's a big part of our award ceremony reception that Thursday. Friday, we have a college admissions fair where we invite all 100 plus of our HBCUs to participate. We've averaged between 40 to 50 HBCUs come to those hosting cities and touch our young folks. We touched over 8,000 students in those 3 local areas, local hosting cities, New Orleans, Houston, Phoenix, and now San Antonio. We have challenged San Antonio, hey, we want over 10,000 students for the past 4 years to be exposed to our HBCUs through our college admissions and scholarship fair. I just read the stats to you about the no representation in NBA or WNBA, et cetera. So we host a pro day combine prior to the All-Star game that Friday. We actually took one step. We hired BAM testing company, the same testing company they use for the Chicago pre-draft and all that other stuff. We know those NBA scouts are going to be in town visiting those Final Four teams. We make it pretty simple and easy for them. When we do our pro day combine, it's now a certified event during Final Four weekend. So we have 15 of the 30 teams in Phoenix. Our ultimate goal is to have all 30 plus teams, as well as our WNBA teams that don't go to the women's Final Four there in Tampa. So those are type of moments. We have a legacy court dedication. If you go to each one of those hosting cities, you'll see a HBCU All-Stars court dedication left in those cities. Why is that important? When I grew up, I'm from South Georgia, and knowing you, FAMU, you drove through my hometown a lot, Tifton, Georgia, driving through, through my hometown. And so a basketball court was my safe space to stay off the streets. I was able to use that court to become a pretty good basketball. So it resonates in the community. So that's a big part of our give back, what we call Friday Fun Day, and partner with our local parks and recreation, free food, bounce house, painting, all this for the kids in the community as showing love and giving back and things of that, free tickets and things of that nature. Social justice is a big part of what we do. The Ben Crumps, the Jesse Jacksons, everybody, every social justice organization is a big part of what we do. So we'll have a big social justice and civil rights welcome reception, a panel discussion. That is really important for us. And on that Saturday, we call it the Pastor's Prayer Circle. Saturday is one of the most important days, one day before the men's national championship game. One day before our HBCU All-Star game especially. It's important for us to be covered. So we invite a number of our esteemed pastors to cover each one of our teams in prayer before we bounce that basketball on that Saturday. So Pastor's Prayer Circle is important for us. We're going to let the young folks enjoy the river walks and things of that nature there. But those are kind of some of the ancillary events and things that we do. And then, of course, the game itself.
Yes,
I
indeed.
can't describe it. If you hadn't watched our promo videos and things of that nature, we need you in the building. Pre-game fan fest. We support our black and brown business vendors. We want them at the game, food trucks. This is important for us. We actually have our college admissions fair going on again during the game. So for those students that weren't able to get to the college admissions fair on Friday, we're gonna set it up again Sunday in our concourse and let them come. And then, of course, the whole celebration, the band, the cheer. This is the first time an epic doubleheader matchup with the men game. With I'm telling you, it's a championship for us, and the women game immediately following. The confetti, the trophy presentation, the MVP. These guys get commemorative championship rings. It is an amazing moment to celebrate us at the highest level. So we need all the support.
Definitely. All the support. If you guys can't make it, view the game. It will be on CW Network. You guys make sure if you guys can make it to San Antonio, you guys purchase the tickets. Go to the website. Travis, can we get the website again?
Yeah. The website, make sure you go to HBCU All-Star Game.com. But make sure you also follow us on all social media platforms. HBCU All-Star Game, HBCU All-Stars LLC, and you can follow me at Travis L. Williams 24. And also we have an HBCU All-Stars app that you can follow us. We need your support. So make sure you purchase tickets.
Definitely, definitely. And I just have this question. How has the support been with the pipeline of the NCAA and the NBA and the WNBA? How has that been with the recent games leading up to this big event?
I think it's important. Like I said, as I mentioned to the Pro Day Combine, us being able to have our event as being officially certified is the point where we got to get one to pop for us. I think the last NBA player I coached Robert Covington at Tennessee State. Like I said, I'm a former head coach at Tennessee State and Fort Valley State University. I've kind of been on both sides, and so Robert Covington was the last active player uh, that was on the roster last year. So, like I said, we currently, and taking one step further, there have been 528 players that have been on active rosters this year, zero in HBCUs. And so I think it's important for us to really keep pushing the initiative. With the NCAA, I'm a former college basketball coach. With Final Four weekend, it's a coaches convention. A lot of folks don't understand. It's a coaches convention, professional development, all that other stuff. And so it's been supportive. In the past few years, we've taken our guys to the NCAA game due to our partnership with CBS Sports. And we'll take our young men and women if they want to go to the Fan Fest and be a part, because a lot of them won't ever get a chance to experience this. So we'll let them enjoy the festivities here, go on the Riverwalk, enjoy it, because we want them to understand it. But at the same time, we want them to be professional. This is not your typical All-Star game that folks say, oh, it's not an All-Star game, blah, blah. They don't. This is an All-Star game, a really serious All-Star game for us, because why? We get an opportunity to show them that we are very talented, we're very competitive, and they're going to go after it. We've had some of the best coaches coaching our previous All-Star games, and we're excited about the coaches that we have this year that's coaching our All-Star game. Some big-time, high-major coaches, some of the best in the business, not just the HBCU space, the best in the business, both men and women, HBCU.
Yes, and I know you've mentioned how you guys pick the rosters or select the players. How do you guys go about picking the coaches for this game?
Yeah, that's important. A great question. Well, sometimes our coaches that participate, they have been named Coach of the Year in their respective league. So we actually have some of the best coaches that have been named Coach of the Year by their peers. But as I mentioned earlier, we have a HBCU All-Stars national scouting staff that consists of former HBCU head coaches, assistant coaches, associate head coaches. That's what I'm saying. We have a national scouting staff that's important. So we have an amazing selection committee. We do, like, I'm always on the road evaluating not only players, but coaches in this space, a part of our HBCU All-Stars national scouting tour. And so we really pleased with the coaches that we have. Like I said, we have some of the best in the business that'll be coaching this game.
Definitely. And this is great. It's great for the community. It's great for HBCU basketball, and it's great overall just for the HBCU experience. People that are not aware of what's going on in HBCU sports or not familiar with them being broadcasted in such a manner. This is the time. This is the time for you guys to dial in and do the research. Travis provided you guys with the website here. He told you guys how you can get tickets. He told you where it's going to be broadcasted. Now it's our time to do the work and support. And when we support, we can keep things like this going. This is the fourth year. I want to reiterate, this is the fourth year. So it's nothing but great things that can come from this. It's now been elevated. We now have the women's part of this. So it's only going to continue getting bigger and better. And it's very important. I cannot stress any more. It's very important that we all support, bring awareness, and supporting anything. It could be a like and a reshare of a post, posting a ticket to just watching the game, or if you're able to attend, being there. Any form of support, man. Tell a friend to tell a friend, man. It doesn't matter. Just get the people aware, and let's make this happen, man, for the HBCUs.
Wow, brother, I really appreciate you, and that's important. I mean, we need to support us. I think that's one of the most important things. This, especially during this climate, it's important for us to support us at an all-time high, and then we get opportunity. And it's for all HBCUs. If you get a chance to represent your HBCU, the
Yeah,
culture at the highest level, and so and that's what it's about. This is for us. When it's all said and done, this is for us, but we make it inclusive of everyone. And if you don't know about HBCUs, we're going to educate you on the brilliance and the resilience and what we've been capable of doing. And we still going to continue to do that and continue to fight and be the very best at everything that we do.
definitely, definitely. So you guys check it out. HBCU All-Star Weekend is going down in San Antonio. Grab your tickets. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Support. I appreciate you, Travis, for speaking with me and telling the people about this game, this experience, and everything leading up to this. And we're gonna continue to support to help this keep going, man. So I just want to thank you for your time and your awareness today.
Appreciate you, my brother. You stay blessed.
No problem. Thank you.